Okay, 800.
Okay, this is the Personnel Committee for Monday, June the 15th, 9 a.m. at the Crow Wing County Boardroom, being streamed live. We're going to go through some Personnel Committee, thank you.
Thank you.
Personnel Committee issues. First one on the agenda is staff updates. Mel?
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioner Barrows. Today, I do have a couple updates for you. First is a retirement letter. I did put that in your packet. It is from one of our long-term highway maintenance specialists. Her name is Glow, or she goes by Glow. And I thought I would just read a couple passages from the letter. I think it's just beautifully written, and it really speaks very highly of her role as a specialist on that team. And Glow has, so I'll just start. It says, "Dear Crow Wing County, please accept this formal notice of my resignation from the position of Highway Specialist at Crow Wing County effective June 25th, 2020. After 16 years, 6 months, and 10 days at the Crow Wing County Highway Department, I get to fulfill my goal to retire. I am very happy to have been the first female that ever worked at Crow Wing County Maintenance Department. It took me 6 years, 4 interviews to get hired. At the time, they were hesitant with different facilities of working on the road with a female maintenance worker. At least this is what I was told after I didn't get hired. But I was very persistent and kept coming back year after year and applying and did not give up. Each interview, they would ask me why I wanted to work at Crow Wing County. I would just say I just wanted to be normal. I had to work, I had worked at Anderson Brothers for 20 years and worked so many hours in the spring, summer, and fall that a person didn't get time to do anything in their home life. This is what I call normal, a home life to be able to do things after work in the summer and to spend time with your loved ones." And then I'm just going to skip down a little bit, the next paragraph that says, "I am grateful that I've had the time to help my parents when needed to have someone go to doctor appointments with them. Working at Crow Wing County, I could get off to go to the doctor appointments with them, and they did. And when they got sick, I was able to be there. And when the time came, it was their last with their time to leave this earth. I got to be there to hold her hand and say goodbye, which meant the world to me. In the last 4 years, I have had a niece that I'm so grateful on and to help her raise because of working at the county." And then I'll just move to the back page. And then I think this is just a classic Glow paragraph. It says, "I'm going to miss snow plowing most everything at the highway department. I've had the same plow route for over 15 years and took much pride in providing the service for the residents on my route. I like seeing the same people out clearing the driveways each time I plow. I make the roads I'm assigned to safe for everyone that drives them. I have also liked working with the public. When I am flagged, I like to make sure and tell the cars I stop approximately how long they will have to wait and if they have to ask somebody to tell them what they're doing and why. It has changed since Corona-19, our new normal, but I still wave and smile as people if I am flagging, if I'm working outdoors. With this job, I was able to do that." And then I'm just going to skip to the last paragraph. "This has been my goal to say to get to retire. It's a big deal. My dad got disabled at age 40. My mom retired and went on Social Security, and I had to go to work part-time to pay for her supplemental medical insurance while working part-time as a greeter for Walmart. She got sick and passed away 5 months later. So I get to say I got my goal to retire and to have more than they had. This is why I'm so happy to be writing this resignation and retirement letter. So as of June 25th, 2020, I get to retire." I just think that is such a beautiful, it just kind of brings tears to your heart, because not only does she think so highly of the county, but her role, but that she got to reach a goal. I think for us to be able to provide that has just been an incredible asset, so.
That is
Beautiful.
that is an awesome letter.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And you know, it's a few things to notice. She was been the first and only female specialist that's been on our highway department, and it took her 6 years to get here. And she didn't give up. I think that's remarkable. She is going to be in attendance of your June 23rd board meeting, and I think there's some special recognition things planned in her honor. So
I like her nickname, Glow.
I know, I love it too.
And knowing her a little bit, that's a perfect
Yeah, isn't
name
it?
for her.
Isn't it? That's good. Just a couple things on personnel actions. You also have in your packet a couple things, just replacement staffing. We have one of our long-term social workers that is going to be retiring. She has been with us for 32 years. She'll be retiring at the end of August. So you'll see that. We'll be asking for, we're going to be replacing a social worker there on that team. And then we've had a couple correctional officer openings that you'll see as replacement staffing. And then under hires, we've hired our 2 final rec assistants for the boat and water team for the sheriff's office. You'll see those 2 hires on there. And then you'll see the departures listed. One is a retirement that is coming up at the end of August, and then our correctional officers. So that is it for personnel actions, unless you have any questions.
Any questions, Steve?
Just one question to Tim. And we seem to have a lot of turnover at the jail for these corrections officers. Is there any tracking going on why we are experiencing such what seems to be a high level of turnover?
There is. It's traditionally a job that does drive more turnover because it's not really just for everybody. And so people will come and they will go. Some of the turnover that we've experienced has been good stuff. We have a couple of probation agents that we got from the jail. And there have been folks, let's see, our collections agent came from the jail as well. So there's some inter-movement. And then there's also movement, correctional officers who first get their peace officer's license and will start in corrections and then end up moving up to a patrol job, preferably here, but also elsewhere. So it is a higher turnover job. I think it's somewhat of a gateway, but it is also because it's a unique job that's just not for everybody.
Okay,
And
thank
we
you.
recently, Tim, had one of our correctional officers accept a promotion to be a sergeant in the ranks over in our jail. And then one of our sergeants was promoted to a lieutenant position. So there's a lot of that kind of internal movement and churning that happens.
And some go on to be VSOs.
Right. Right, so.
Anything else in open session?
I just have one other thing. Just wanted to give you a quick COVID-19 update. We haven't had, from our last meeting, we haven't had any additional employees that were impacted by COVID, whether it's a family member or themselves. And we did have, those 5 employees that did use the COVID childcare leave or for the schools and daycares that were closed. Year to date, we have about 500 hours that we've used for that leave, which equates to about $11,000. And as you recall, that is not something that's reimbursed to the county. So we have been able to help accommodate those employees for those types of leaves under that new federal law. So. Some of that is, we haven't seen anything new in the last, probably 3 weeks. We haven't seen any new things that have happened with our employees. So that's, knock on wood, that's a good thing. So, yeah.
Tim, anything else in open session, or?
Mr. Chairman, just an update from my weekend or end-of-week report. I had told you about we have a probation client that has come to the attention of the authorities. The feds did arrest him in Colorado this weekend after he fled. They were able to ping his cell phone, and after they got the number from our probation agent and located him, they also got a search warrant for the phone after they found him, and he had video of the action on his phone. By the sounds of things, he's going to be getting lots of federal charges, probably hitting.
So what that was, Tim, is you didn't state what it was, is it was one of our probation clients here allegedly,
Allegedly, yes.
I guess that's the way you're supposed to say it, even though he's probably got video of it. He started the precinct on fire, or
Yeah,
what?
the third precinct in
In
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yep.
Wonderful. Isn't that great?
Well, a word to the wise, throw away your phone if you're going to do stuff like that.
Ah, what an idiot. Anything else in open session? Okay, we're going to go into closed session. Mel's going to give the statute and the reason
Sure.
why we're
Sure.
going into closed session. And then we will, when we're in closed session, we'll be done.
We just have a couple items.
What's that, in closed session, a couple items? Or-
When we close the session, will be accordance with the Minnesota Data Practice Act 13D.05. I'll give you just 2 labor updates and then 1 personnel matter that's considered private,
Okay,
according to that
and then we
statute.
won't be coming back into any open session.
That is correct.
No reason to. Okay,
Okay.
yep, that's it. We'll go into closed session.